The real deals are on the air now. And now, live from the Swords of St. Michael Studios, it's The Real Deals, Kenneth and Bear Rose Deal.
Thanks, Fide. Thank you, guys. I can't believe it. I'm sitting there talking and I didn't even turn my mic up. Should I say I pulled a Ken on myself? Hey, Spa Diva. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Santo. Good evening, everybody. I'm so sorry. Let's try that intro one more time. Here we go. We're going to be talking about smudging and smoking. So, we're already smoking here in the Ozarks tonight. I'm telling you what, it's like, oh my gosh, 90 degrees. I don't know what it's like out there for you guys. Athena, Fide, Tony. It is just hot. So tonight we're going to compare the two. We're going to do like some, eggs to eggs, robins to robins, that sort of thing. But before we get off to our start tonight, I hope everybody can hear. Hi, Colin. Everybody can hear me good, right, guys? Right. I don't see anything. Hey, Tony. Doris, we always start off with what? Our St. Michael prayer. So let's do the St. Michael prayer. In nomine Patri et Filio et Spiritus Sanctus sic ut et principio et nunc et semper saecula saeculorum. Amen. Sancti Michael Arcangele defende nos in prelio contra nequitiam et sidis diaboli esto presidium. Imperidi Deus supplicis deprecamur tuque, princeps maletia celestis satanam aliosque spiritus malignos, qui ad perditionem animarum pervergantur in mundo divina virtute in infernum detrude. Amen. All right. Time to put my glasses on and try and read. Okay, you guys. So, tonight's topic, for some reason or another, kids, this has come up so many times this week. I don't know why. But we seem to be, in our culture, we seem to be obsessed with things external to fix those things that are actually internal. And fortunately, I was inspired today. Deb is not on assignment. She's out of power. That's why we couldn't do the show. Just a little backstory because we're trying to figure it out. Hi, Zulma. Hi, Ash. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Carolyn. We thought, what are we going to do? Today the topic came up. Christians, it's very, very popular for people to cleanse hotel rooms, for Ghostbusters, for all sorts of people to pick up smudge sticks. You can find these things at Whole Foods. You don't have to go into a New Age store. You can find bundles of sage and smudge sticks just about anywhere you want to shop. That's the crazy thing, I think, is that smudging has become as commonplace as smoking a stogie. It used to be only men smoked stogies with a cognac in the other room. Now, they've got women on the covers of cigar magazines and everything else. So what we're going to talk about tonight specifically is we're going to address who, what, why, where, when, and we're going to start with smudging. What is it? What does it do? And of course the dog is coming in right now going, Mom, what are you doing? So, what is it? Well, there's a many varieties of sage, okay? This is mine. I grow it in my backyard. It stinks something awful. So, what we have is we have a plant. This is how and what a smudge stick consists of. Hi, Melissa. Welcome tonight. Hey, Rich. Haven't seen you in forever. I know it's been a while. Welcome to the show. We're talking about saging and smoking. So a smudge, what a smudge is, it's a plant. It's a new term because I want everybody to know that not all Native Americans, and it's generally in the North American. There's very few natives or indigenous peoples in the European continent that actually use this smudge technique. They do other things with herbs, but for our intents and purposes tonight, we're going to talk about the North American continent, maybe a little bit about the Amazonian peoples, that kind of thing. We're going to stick right here in our little slice of life. So, Sage salvia. what is salvia? Salvia officialis, that means saving. Okay, well, salvia, this is sage. It's used for cooking, stuffing. Like I said, oh, this stuff stinks. It reeks. Trust me, you would not want to burn this in your house. It's an herb. It's a plant. The other types of salvia that are really not very well known, especially if you have no idea what smudging is, salvia divinorum. This is a ceremonial hallucinogenic. Let me see if I can get that out one word here. And the hallucinogenic properties come from, of course, the oils in the plant. And ceremonial meaning that there's attributed special powers, special visions, that sort of thing when that's used, the divinorum. The other form, Appiana, is the common white. Now, this is the kind that if you go into Whole Foods and you look for a bundle of sage, you're going to see it looks like one of these big, like a tobacco roll, large leaves. You can't miss it. And these large leaves are wrapped up. The way it's used in Native American, they usually use sinew. All right? You're going to find it with probably a cotton cord or thread tied together, and usually a couple bundles. That's how they sell it. Now, the bundles usually have anything from sage, sweetgrass, cedar. I mean, cedar is a common one you're going to find in there. Oak moss. Different varieties of native people use different things. Yes, exactly, Tony. I mean, not a lot of people understand the hallucinogenic properties of the divinorum. And I mean, can you imagine why would it have a Latin name, Salvia divinorum, if it was just common cooking sage like officialis? Hello. Hey, Rosalie, good to see you. We're talking about sage, babe. So, we're talking about, the bundles, cedar, etc. And it is not smoked in a pipe. It is basically burnt and exuded. Okay? So, why do people do it? Now, this is the interesting thing. Because, like we were talking about, we're talking about our continent here, not the continent over in Europe. Why people have done that here. This is a part of sacred ritual for indigenous peoples. Hi, Jacqueline. Good to see you. Oh, you're in Sydney. Woohoo! We love our Australian brothers and sisters. Nighttime. Oh, my gosh. That's so crazy over there. I mean, woo, whole world away. Thanks for joining us. Everybody give a like and subscribe if you can. Click the bell for notifications. We are talking about why people smudge. And since it comes from indigenous peoples and it comes from a ritual that they use it for purification. It's used in sweat lodges. What is a sweat lodge? In the culture of the indigenous peoples, a sweat lodge is someplace that you go in to cleanse yourself, to purify yourself. You basically go to leave yourself behind and become something greater, to have a mystical walk, a mystical star walk, a mystical vision. You go on a vision quest. Now, this is different from the peyote vision quests of the Southwest, where, they use the cacti more for a sacred ritual. And hey, Denise, you made it tonight. Good to see you. Hi, Steve. I hate to interrupt, but I got to say hi to everybody. Hi, Carl. So nice you could join us. And so people do it for a variety of reasons that are new age now, and we call it new age because we just lump everybody together because we know they're not Cherokee, they're not, I'm part Menominee, somewhere back there. There's a lot of different indigenous people tribes. Like I said, very few actually use the term smudge or actually use it for what most people are using today. Like I said, it's really kind of different. So, why do it? We know why the indigenous peoples did it. Hi, Arthur Phillip. I am so glad to see you. Excellent. 12 years yesterday. Brought him back to the truth. Woohoo! Hey, Steve. What people have been doing it, and I say this generously because I don't know how far back this goes, but from my research, all intents and purposes tonight, my research says 80, 90 years, the commonality of bringing smudge sticks into common practice came into with Spiritism at the turn of the century. It was one of those things that, somebody brought from maybe one of these vision quests and said, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe what they're doing with this sacred smoke, and they're cleansing themselves, and it works so wonderful, everybody's so happy afterwards. And what they didn't understand is they don't understand the culture, they don't understand the wholeness of the culture or the sacred ritual or the ceremony or anything else. And if you don't belong to that culture, it's not going to have the same effect, but we'll go over that in a minute. So why do you use it? In our current practice, and I say our loosely because I don't use this stuff and I don't recommend anybody else use it. Matter of fact, I tell people, please don't do that. It does not belong to your tribe. Stay away. And so consequently, exactly, holy water, blessed salt. Colin, give me a chance already. Don't steal my thunder. So, why are people doing it? A lot of times, because we're human, we see other cultures doing things, and it's like, we want that too. We see them, and we say, oh, wow, they think they're the spas in France and Spain. You see people going in and getting treated with mud and salt. You want to do it too. So I think that the notion of the cleansing and the purification was so attractive to most people that they really thought, I can use this, I can smudge my house, I can do this, and that's so erroneous. But this was the desire. They wanted to do it to purify and to cleanse. Now, who does it? Okay, let's get down to the nitty and the gritty, okay? Yes, exactly. It is a kind of, but see, Tony's got a question in chat. He says maybe it's kind of like a modern Wicca. Now, when we're talking about a modern Wicca, Tony, we're talking about two different animals. You're talking about tomatoes and cucumbers, okay? Because the sacred beliefs of the Native Americans are a lot different than Wicca. Wicca is specifically to control spirits and control the environment, whereas this is the beauty of the Native American culture. They seek to live in harmony with the earth and the spirits. They understand that there's good and bad spirits. They do not want to rile them. They do not want them chasing them. They seek to live in harmony. Got it? Okay. Wicca's totally different. We can do that. I'm just busting your chops, Colin. You know that. Exactly. So, who does it? Today, we have a variety of people that are just adopting the practice. I mean, it covers across all ages, all classes, all levels of intelligence, cash flow. I mean, you've got poor people doing it, you've got rich people doing it, you've got gurus, Hindus, self-proclaimed shamans. Okay, those are just like the exorcists. Oh, please, people. You're going to claim I'm a shaman? No, you're not a shaman. All right, your generations don't go back in, the brotherhood of the native indigenous people. People just don't understand culture, but that's okay. So who's doing it? We have a variety of people doing it. Like, as I was saying, the attractiveness is people want to be purified. They want peace, and they want it the easy way. Okay, why do we have McDonald's Happy Meals? Why do we have dollar menus, people? We want it like that, okay? It's the same thing for sage and smudging. Smudge, 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 smudge. You just want something instant. Stop wanting it instant. Be patient. Right. Okay, so you're not saying that the beliefs are the same. Oh, you're saying that smudging and Wicca pass themselves off as ancient traditions. Oh, please. Oh my gosh. I know. Wicca? Okay, Wicca's only been around maybe 70 years. There's no Wicca religion. I know, right, Ash? It's so funny. Yes, Steve, we will go over crystals another show because I've got a variety of rocks to show you. I've got iron ore. I've got all kinds of, because my dad's a geologist. Okay. Also, don't forget, kids, if you want to support the show, PayPal, Patreon link, or you can super chat us so I can get stamps, medals, scapulars, and everything else out to everybody else that doesn't know. Yeah, the type of smudging that I'm describing is so popular in New Age, Tony. You're so right. And it has nothing to do with the Native American practice. That's what I want you to understand. What they hold as beautiful and pure and holy is nothing what the New Age people are doing. Nothing what is being taught, to get these bundles and light them and, activate your chakras or your armpit rods or whatever these people are doing. Stop it. Okay? Whoever's doing it is forming a belief based on something they want to happen, which is not going to happen. Okay? What is belief? Belief is a form of self-hypnosis. Okay? So you might say, well, I believe in the Catholic Church and I believe in Christ. That's a form of self-hypnosis. That is based on the magisterium. That is based on truth and de fide. But everybody, we all have free will. You can choose to believe what you want, right? So we understand that lots of people are doing it. We understand why. Where's it done? Like, Tony and I were talking, back and forth here. The Native Americans, the indigenous peoples, they have a beautiful, beautiful history of lots of years in their culture of practicing this. It's part of who they are. Beautiful in the sense that this is passed down by a purity of generation. Why do I admire that? Because I admire the fact that they want to live in harmony with everything around them. That's what I admire. Okay, I'm not saying I admire the smudging or the saging or whatever else. Today's people, thank you, Melissa. Woohoo! Thank you, dear. When people want something so bad and they turn outside of themselves to something like smudging, and they go and buy something, and they buy a book, or they look at somebody else that says, here, light this and just wave it all over yourself and it's going to purify you and it's going to cleanse you. You really have to think when you're thinking about who's doing it and where it's done. Where are they doing this? They're doing this to their body. They're doing this in their home. And this is really, it's invitational. We're going to get into that in a little bit more. Yes, Jacqueline, this is not good. Don't accept, don't touch the tarot, okay? And yes, if he's giving you those cards, my dear, bring your holy water or your anointed oil and just pick it up, flush it down the toilet. That's what I do. The monkeys. Steve's going off about monkeys in chat, folks. That was pretty interesting. But spirits do watch you, and they can make you think it's working. I agree, Arthur. We're going to get into that in a few minutes, because I think that's an important thing for people to understand, that just because you don't think that they're smudging themselves isn't doing something doesn't mean that it's not. This is why you should be very, very, very careful. Poor Rosalie, are you laughing to death? Where is it done? When you look at the culture of the indigenous peoples, the Native Americans, they are doing it in a very special, sacred place. Just like, I'm a Catholic, I have Mass, I'm going to do this in a sacred place for my beliefs and my faith. Today's New Age mumbo jumbo of where you should do it, you can, like somebody was saying, you can sage work, you can, wave your little bundle all over your friends. They are taking the supposed belief and faith that smudging something with a bunch of herbs that, supposedly it can clear you and, clear your energy field. That's what we're going to get into next. And they're taking it to a level that basically they're like, I liken this to a little 2-year-old that has just found mom's stash of C4, doesn't know what mom's playing with C4, but just, wants to pinch some off because they think it's Play-Doh. Does anybody understand C4 and Play-Doh? Totally different things, kids. Totally different. And why would I liken burning sage to playing with raw C4? I wonder why. What does the Bible say about this practice? Now, As much as I tried, kids, and as much for you Bible thumpers as I really looked, I couldn't find anything specifically that says do not use sage, salvia, do not use, it did not mention sweetgrass or anything else by name. I don't see anything wrong with having incense in your home if it's properly blessed in the old rite by a holy priest. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. You want to buy, your incense, you should do that anyway. Buy your incense in bulk, buy your candles in bulk, buy everything in bulk, take it to a holy priest, get it blessed, use it, enjoy it. Bundles of sage, as all exorcists know, and as all the Gospels will tell you, the intent of your heart will come out. So let's not mess with it. The Bible thumping quotes that I could come up with, Thessalonians, God's already got you taken care of, kids. It's not going to be the end of the world. You don't need to look for something external, such as smudging yourself, to clear yourself. It's not exactly, shall we say, helpful. Okay? So, any questions on smudging? And, I remember what he told you to. Oh, gosh, Rosalie's reminding us that Ken told her at one point, when somebody gives you tarot cards or something like that of occult material, that you can take cat litter feces and some dog feces and basically, just rub it up and then you just pitch it out and it works. Hi, Zilma. Hi, Arthur. So, onward and upward. Right now I have to put on my little glasses because heaven forbid I hit the wrong button, right? Oh my gosh, I'm already just a spaz cadet as it is. Yes, I'm having fun now. Now I get to smoke. Okay, now, what is smoke? Woo! No, we're not talking about cigar smoke like I like, okay? We're talking about the smoke, the holy smoke. And this is how we're going to compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges kind of thing. We're talking about the smoke of the church. And we're talking about the smoke of, because I didn't really go into too much history in the sage use and, the bundles of herbs. I could have gone into the thousands of years and potentially the Celts did and everything else. The important thing you need to know, all right, if you're Christian and you've been baptized, it's not good. It is wrong faith for you. It is, shall we say, it steals justice from God. And we'll get into that in a minute. So, holy smoke. Holy smokes. I wonder where that phrase came from, huh? Probably them crazy Catholics, I'm thinking. So, isn't that nice? You get to see my computer. How's that? Ta-da! It's gone. When we talk about smoke, we're talking about incense. And we're talking about a specific brand of incense. Let's see if I can pin this off, guys. It's not like blowing in the wind. How's that? Stick that there. Okay, now shut up. Okay, so smoking in the boys' room. We're talking about something that has come from early sacrifices of Abraham and all the church fathers. Yes, you can come up and say hi, people. Oh, look at you. Hello, Jennifer Brown. Look at my puppy, guys. She's like, mama, mama, mama. Now she's got to go bye-bye. Say good night. Yes, sacramentals are used. Yes, and they have to have the prayers of the church. Exactly. Okay, so go away. Yeah, smoking in the boys' room, Colin. You obviously remember that, you bad boy. I was there with you, so don't feel bad. Smoke came from the earliest forms of, before the Jews were actually the Jews, it came from the earliest forms of sacrifice to God. And it was about rendering the due justice that was due God. And without it, we're cut off. What do I mean by cut off? I mean that incense, holy smoke, was such a big part of who we were at an early period that you can't discount this, all right? So what is it? I'm going to see if I can adjust this just a little bit, and then I don't have to look at that big white thing. Thank you. What is it? This fabulous stuff. It smells so wonderful. We get it in sticks. Ah, it smells so good. It is the fragrance, the aroma that carries prayer up to the heavens. And that's why, you know, I put a couple little Bible quotes for you, because I know people love Bible quotes. Ooh, I love the smallest. So I'm going to read from my notes because I didn't put on too many here. All right, what is smoke? And now, the Bible has a specific recipe here, and I put it in there, 3034. You know, the basics of frankincense, which smells so wonderful, sweet spices. But listen to this. Myrrh, cinnamon was used, balsam, olive oil, cassia, get this, stacte resin, onycha, galbanum. Say that 5 times fast, kids. Right? So, where do I get this incense sticks? You know, Tony, I will put a link in the description tomorrow, because I get it from Our Lady of the Rosary, and there's a couple other good Catholic places you can get it. You always want to make sure when you order incense, because just like candles, they can be dedicated to something, you know, we don't want, you know, to have anything to do with. I just love the smell of this. So, I mean, incense can be purchased, and most of the incense, hey, Michelle, good to see you. Most of the incense purchased is usually like in chunks. It's actually a resin from a tree, you know, the frankincense and myrrh. And it's put in one of these cute little things. This is what Ken and I take when we go and we go pray with people, and we go smoke them out, baby. This is called a thurible, all right? And the charcoal, just like a regular coal in your backyard barbecue, a little coal is placed in here, okay? And that little coal is like placed all the way in the bottom. And then you take a few grains of your frankincense and your myrrh, and then you torch it. And then just like the priest, you walk around and you cense with a thurible the whole house. And we are going to be doing a video on that. I've got a house, because what I do is I don't have the authority to go cleanse somebody else's house. What I do have authority to do is help them and walk them through showing them how to cleanse their house with incense. So we're going to be doing a video on that, and I'll try and put that up ahead of time so you guys can walk through with me live to see exactly what you do, some of the prayers you use, and some of the most efficacious prayers, I mean, for using for yourself, because you have authority. Okay? Yes, yes, yes. Howdy. Good to see you. Yes. So we know what it is. It is the most beautiful, wonderful smelling fragrance is put together, and it's sanctified. It's put together with the intention specifically for God alone. Okay, now if it's for God alone, it's not for anybody else. It's not for any other use. It's specifically used for God. Why is it used for God? Because it raises our hearts, it raises our prayers. It is a scent that, you know, basically reminds us of God. So when we look at why we do this, why do Christians do this? Why do the Episcopals do this? Why do the Lutherans do this? Why do the Catholics? Why do we use incense? Because yes, we can bless a house if we have permission, but I'm not encouraging other people to go bless other people's houses, Arthur. See what I'm saying? Big difference. So we got to be careful. So when we're talking about why is this done? Why? Oh, thank you, Colin. You are such a sweetie. Thanks, Colin. I really appreciate you guys. Colin, just, you know what? Swords of St. Michael just helped us out. You can also do PayPal, Patreon, or like Colin did, just hit the easy little $ button. We appreciate it, because then I get to send out more scapulars, more medals, more pamphlets to everybody that needs a little bit of help to get out of a dark spot. Oh, you can't keep your charcoal going? Okay, Michelle, a good thing to do is you have to keep your charcoal dry at all times. Now, if you can't keep your charcoal going, you can either rub a little bit of olive oil on it. That will help it, and that will keep it going for you. And or what's that? It needs to be your house or rental house. Yeah, I'll explain that a little bit later. Let me just keep rolling, because why is it done? We use incense in the most sacred of rituals. We use it at the altar of sacrifice. That's why this Exodus 34, describing the recipe, this is why it was put together. Because at the time, God instructed the faithful, the fathers of our faith, you know, in the Jewish faith, that this is what he wanted done. This is how he wanted the offerings to be done. He was very specific about it. Why did he do that? Well, hopefully I get to ask him someday. Consequently, besides 3034, there's also 3038. Anyone else who makes any other recipe and others smell it, he's going to be cut off from his people. So what's that telling you? Don't make anything else. Don't offer up anything else. You're going to be cut off. Okay, and as far as I'm concerned, that's like any parent. That's just like any good parent that says, all right, if you do that one more time, you're out. How many people haven't said that to a child? Hello, I say that all the time. Whew. Right? You tell a kid, that's enough, that's enough. And if they don't listen, what happens? You say, gone, goodbye. So, if you don't believe me, read Exodus. Also, I have to mention this, in Revelations, why is it done? Why is incense burned? Why is it so holy? All right? In Revelations 8:3, in a golden censer, they will be given much incense. Not a little bit like I've got right here. Okay, that's a little bit. We're talking much incense. They're going to be given much incense. And it's to mingle with the prayers of the saints. Hello, who are the prayers of the saints coming from? They're in heaven. So in this new heaven that Revelations is telling us about, it's telling us that this incense is going to be given, a lot of it, so that the saints, as they pray, it's going to mingle and it's going to rise up all the prayers. Can you imagine how beautiful is that? Aww. Pretty cool, huh? So, oh yes, you did get incense from the Catholic Church store. Excellent. Well, Barb, if you got a link, people were asking about it. You're more than welcome to share your Catholic link. I'm going to post another one tomorrow. So, if people are looking to buy incense from, a good reputable place, Barb, you got the link, share it. I'll share another one. Tony Cobianco, if you've got one, share them too. I don't mind sharing them. The more the merrier. Suzanne, I was just talking about you. Oh, how often should you do protection prayers, and how often do you burn okay, myself, how often do I burn it? Well, Ken used to do it all the time, but now that Ken's not here, I have to do it. So this depends on who comes in your house and what kind of target you are. Okay? So if you're just, the regular type of person, and you don't have any fights with your boss, you don't have any major problems with your relationships or anyone else, I would think to bless your house completely with frankincense, maybe have a priest come over, at least a couple times a year is good. However, if you stick your nose in, it was really good, Susan, don't worry. If you stick your nose in where it don't belong, if you are working to help souls, if you are, let's just say you sing, you're a cantor in church, let's say you work with children, let's say you have any sort of target on you at all, okay? Any kind of target. I would use the frankincense and myrrh at least once a month. Why? Because it's kind of like washing your curtains or washing your windows. An ounce of prevention with a little sacramental, save you a lot of hours of worry later. Okay, is that the only one? And Suzanne, yes, it was good. We were just talking about house cleansing and stuff like that. And, oh, good Lord, Kai, do we need to pray for them? Very, very much. Right now, let me get back to incense. Okay, so we know why it's done. It sanctifies person. Jennifer, what a blessing you are. Thank you so very much. Now, if I saw that right, if somebody needs a rosary, please, send me a PM or, contact us at help@swordsofstmichael.org. Thank you so much. Your donations really go a long way to help me buy more medals. I slam out Holy Face medals, St. Benedict medals, after they've been blessed in the old rite, because we don't send I don't sell blessed medals, but we send them out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, onward and upward. We have to remember that the faith of the magisterium, de fide, the true faith, and the true religion, the religion of the Catholic people that is baptized in the Spirit, we have an obligation to serve justice, to serve to not burn sage. Burning sage steals justice from God, because what does it say in Exodus? And a lot of people say, oh, well, Exodus is just the Old Testament. You know, we have the New Covenant. Let's just jump in the New Covenant and away we go. No, it doesn't work that way. You have a bullseye. Michelle, you're so funny. Athena, you are such a sweetheart. I love the double hearts. Thank you, dear. What we have to look at is we have to look at who are we going to serve. Are we going to make the bad recipe in Exodus? Or are we going to go ahead and use the pre-mixed, nice ivory soap that Mother gives us? You know, let's stay with the pure stuff, please, folks. Where is it done? Where is this kind of incense used? Where is this smoke done? Where are you going to catch some holy smoke? Well, the best place, if you can, and we were just talking about this earlier. Oh, thanks for posting the link. I'm going to try and hit it, Arthur, right now. Thanks for sharing that. That is Catholic. Thank you very much. If you guys want some incense, I've got one good link up there. And like I said, I'll post another one later after, you know, I get a chance to grab them off the internet. Thank you very much. If you ever get a chance, and like I said, we were talking about this earlier about, Mass and stuff like that, where you can find incense, or not incense, but where you can go, watch it be waved and this kind of stuff like that. You're going to have to go to a high Mass, and it's going to have to be a Latin Rite Mass, and you are going to see so much smoke. It's beautiful. Now, if you have allergies, I understand. Some people do have allergies and they can't tolerate this stuff, you guys. And that's really, really hard on people when they have allergies. Oh, my dog is sitting there looking like this, so pathetic. You're just pathetic, child. You're just so pathetic. So, where is it done? That is one of the most beautiful places. You do not have to be Catholic. Promise you do not have to be Catholic. But if you ever want to see something so beautiful and so reverential, go see a Latin High Mass. And if you're curious about where one's at, call a diocese and just sit in the back seat and just watch the beauty. Because I think that a lot of people think that, you know, Catholics are a bunch of idol worshiping, brainwashed people. And if you went and saw what has been for thousands of years, the beautiful sacrifice, the true sacrifice, the de fide of the right and just sacrifice before God, you would just be mind blown, okay? Because it's so beautiful. And a lot of people, you can walk in there even when the Mass isn't going on, where if they hold the Latin Rite, the altar and the priest is going to be ad orientem, it's going to be oriented toward, the sacrifice, the blessed Lamb, Jesus. It's beautiful. So that's where you're going to find it done. Also, people like me or other faithful Catholics that keep frankincense and myrrh, because it smells so good. That's where you're going to find it done. Let's see. Also, maybe, I'm trying to think. There's also going to be like certain ceremonies throughout the year that, they may be using holy smoke to sanctify, to purify, for the reasons of carrying those prayers, carrying that sacrificial sacrament into the moment with them and into that sacrifice. Oh, somebody's got allergies. I'm sorry. Yes, exactly. It is the true, the good, the the beautiful, the high altar. Exactly, Colin. So when we look at how incense is used to sanctify and make holy and carry the prayers at the altar of sacrifice and in your home, what does the Bible say about the holy smoke of incense? If you look at it, what does it say besides carrying the prayers of the faithful? Okay, now I gotta put my little glasses on. Okay, so Psalms 141, and I love the Psalms. I'm a big lover of Psalms. Oh yeah, Greek Orthodox. Oh yes. Oh my gosh, you got to go to the Greek Orthodox because they use holy incense too. It's just beautiful. Psalms 141. If you guys get a chance tonight, crack your Bibles open, okay? Thump that Bible. 141. Let my prayers rise like the smoke of incense. Let this scent be like the hands raised in worship. It's just beautiful. All right. And that's the kind of stuff that inspires us. Now, as we look at the difference between, okay, the smudge and the smoke, what you have today in this new age mumbo jumbo here, guys, this, that stuff stinks. I'm throwing it away. Sorry, I can't deal with it. Thanksgiving's fine. The rest of the year, no way. When you look at the difference and you're looking at side-by-side stuff, okay, I'm talking about the thing that we're looking at here is apples and oranges. We're talking about two different things. Now I get to put my camera back so you guys don't have to worry. There you go. So we're looking at ancient ritual and practice, potentially druids, potentially native peoples, potentially like the latest thing is this stuff called Palo Santo stuff, and it's just like holy twigs and incense and stuff like that. It's just crazy stuff, you guys. It really, really is. And it's not part, if you are part of the Judeo-Christian faith or the Jewish Christian faith, if you are a Christian, it is not part of your culture, it's not part of your history, and it will do nothing for you. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret here, okay? Ask any exorcist, you ask anyone, demonologist, I understand I'm a demonologist, any person in deliverance, I'm in deliverance, any person in exorcism, I'm in exorcism. When a Christian, now I'm not talking about somebody that doesn't know Jesus, all right? Because Jesus has this whole thing of leeway for people that have no clue who he is. If you have no clue who he is and you're smudging and everything else and somebody says, you know, that's not good, Jesus wouldn't want you to do that, and you learn who Jesus is, etc. Once you know, you should stop. But if you don't know, you're not going to be, you know, kicked over the curb, okay? So just listen up. When a Christian decides to step over the line and say, I'm going to blend faiths. I'm going to blend a combination of holy smoke. You know, I like my little frankincense. I'm going to use my incense. I think I'm going to use my druid balls, the ones that make those pretty little ding-ling-ling sounds. Remember those things, you guys? They were so popular. The singing balls, remember those? So I'm going to use all those. I'm going to, you know, use the singing balls. I'm going to run around my house. This is what makes me mad. You don't clear energy, okay? God gave life. And a lot of people think that, oh, there's an energy here. There's an energy here. It's a freaking, either a good angel or a bad angel. There is nothing in between, okay? Nothing. 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 Don't tell me that person's got bad energy. No, that person's got a bunch of, what do I call? Demonics. Demonics following them. Hello? You want to call that negative energy? I guess that's a terminology that you're going to choose to use. It doesn't exist. It is false faith. It is false religion. It is a false belief. All right? Does this have energy? It is matter. It is created with atoms. God created the atom. God created life. When you go to a empty faith system, an empty belief system, and you go to something that says, my rocks are going to heal you, my smudge is going to cleanse you, what are you doing? This is the worst sin against the first commandment. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me. So you want to take your life in your hands, and what are you waiting on? Your inheritance. That's the big thing that Christians are not getting. They have an inheritance they're gambling away. Okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Exactly, Fidel. Can I get another amen in the crowd? I'm sorry, but it's like, if you know you got a pile of good stuff coming to you, are you just going to like steal all the cards on the table and just go, I got to have it right now? I got to have it right now? We're gambling our inheritance. If you're Christian, if you are Catholic, and you're listening to me right now, you are gambling with your life. Why? Is using smudge going to send you to hell? I don't know. But I do know it's going to attract things to you that you do not want to spend years getting off, okay? You don't. You don't want to do it. What you do want to do is you want to go into prayer. You want to go into your prayer closet. You want to lean on God. You want to wait on God. You want to rely on Him for your every breath. Not sage, not frankincense. You don't rely on frankincense for God. You use frankincense to offer your prayers up with the blessing and the peace and the joy of your heart. Not to acquire peace. Please, people. Please, people. So, the difference is, one is a false belief system. The other one has for Christians, the other one is based in De Fide, the magisterium of the faithful, the doctrine of the faithful, and is used for special occasions. So, anybody got any last minute questions, kids? Because I think I pretty much summed it all up, huh? Thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to please click on the like, subscribe, and then you know what? Hit that little bell up there in the corner. See that little bell? It goes ding ding. Hit the bell. That way, just like tonight, you will get notifications for our next show. Thanks so much for joining us. Hey, good to see you, Greg, Zoma, Colin. Thank you guys so much for the donations. And I really appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. We'd love to see you again next week, and I will do my best to get a quicker notice up on what next week's show is going to be. Like, share, and subscribe. And as always, you know, the battle's already been won. Don't you worry about it. And we're here to help you fight the spiritual warfare, fight and win it right. You got any questions? Please drop them in the comments below, because you know what? I get back and I answer them. Any suggestions for show, drop them in the comments below, because God bless you all. Thank you for joining us, Roxy. That's so nice. And I'm hoping you guys, did I catch everybody? Carolyn, Tony Cobianco, you guys have a fabulous night. And don't forget, same time, same place, next week. God bless and good night.
The Real Deals TV show, copyright 2018, a Swords of St. Michael production. Any unauthorized duplication or rebroadcast or retransmission of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Swords of the Saint Network or that of Kenneth and Farrow's Deal is strictly prohibited.